Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, B'chai, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Alright, so I just wanted to get into Daniel, the third chapter, real quick. A couple weeks ago, I heard female pastors talking about how Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were saved from the fire that Nebuchadnezzar put them in because they were friends with Daniel. And that didn't sit right with me at all. Like, first she started her her, her sermon talking about she read Daniel the first chapter. In the third year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to Jerusalem and besieged it. And after that, she decided to say that you know, sometimes Satan will come and besiege your family generation. Your family generation. And I was like, what? No, but I didn't say anything. I just listened. And then she started going into well, the three holy children. I was like, oh no. No. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. But I did the wise thing and I just kept quiet and let her talk. So I just wanted to go into third chapter real quick. And Lord willing be pleasing to the Lord. So this is the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 1, and it reads. Before I started, I just want to say so around this time you had Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. After he besieged Jerusalem, he mass deported the Israelites in there, and he basically took some of the high-ranking people in Jerusalem with him, so he could basically train them up in the Babylonian way. And Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were part of that. So yeah. So this is the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 1, and it reads: Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, and the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So basically you had Nebuchadnezzar, he made an image of gold. Verse 4. Then a herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages." That at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whosoever falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So basically, he had Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon. He set up a golden image, and he threw a command that once you hear the sound of all kinds of music, once you hear a specific sound, everyone should fall down and worship the golden image. Verse 8. Wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that that shall every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whosoever falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. So basically, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they got, for lack of better words, they got ratted out or they got snitched on because they wouldn't fall down and worship the image. And they don't serve the Babylonian gods or anything like that. Verse 13. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? The fuck they gonna worship that for? The fuck? Now if you be ready, that at what time ye now, Slakia, now if you be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? This fucking guy, bro. You think he all that? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods now, nor worship the image which thou hast set up. So, bam. So they had faith in the Lord. They didn't say that because we are friends with Daniel, we will be saved. Nah. They said Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, will deliver them. Their power, our power. And they had faith. They had 100% faith. If they didn't, they wouldn't be talking to the king like that. They didn't back down when he said they'll be thrown into the burning fire furnace. No. Shit. I mean, yeah, they were friends with Daniel, but like, that's not the reason why they were saved. Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. Bam. So he wanted. So Nebuchadnezzar was angry when when they answered him that way, and then he commanded that the furnace should be heated even more than it was before. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Damn. So even though the the mighty men from Nebuchadnezzar's army, even though they didn't go into the fire themselves, when they went near it, they got burnt up. That's how hot it was. Verse 23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fire furnace. Notice how when the men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they went near the fire furnace while holding Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wait, did I say that right? It's Slakia. So notice, as I meant to say, notice how the men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they they got burnt to death, but it doesn't say that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got burnt as well, even though they were being carried to be thrown into the fire. Um, Verse 23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire. They have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Ah, would you look at that? Ah, what a wow. Verse 26. So Nebuchadnezzar saw them walking about. There was a fourth figure in there. You see, the Lord has saved them. You see? Ah, did you see the fourth figure wasn't Daniel? No, 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 no. Fourth figure was not Daniel. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and the captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair on their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed them. So they went in and they came out. Yo, they were good. Not one single damage was inflicted upon them. See, the Lord saved them right then and there. See, they had faith in the Lord. See, they weren't scared. Where was I? Verse 78. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. verse 39. Therefore, I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So that's it right there. You see, the Lord sent an angel to deliver Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So yeah, it's right there. I don't know why or how she even came to the conclusion that they were saved because they were Daniel's friends. Like, yeah, they were friends, but like Daniel was somewhere else at the time. So like, yeah, I'm not gonna be trying to fathom what she was thinking. There's no point. So yeah, um, I got a quick precept. Uh, what was it? Matthew 10:28. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and 28, and it reads, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both body and soul in hell." So there you go. So you see, on Nebuchadnezzar could kill the body, but that's all he can do. But the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, is able to destroy both body and soul, both soul and body. So they feared the Lord more than Nebuchadnezzar, which makes 100% total sense. Because, like, would you rather die than go to the spirit world, or be erased from all of existence? So, like, you can see which option weighs more. And you see, there's another precept which I like, perfect love. I think this is it. This is 1 John chapter 4 verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. Right, so they really loved the Lord, which is why they weren't afraid of Nebuchadnezzar, because they knew that the Lord was on their side. And since they know that, what is there to fear? You see, they knew they did no wrong. They're just doing the thing serving their power, and that's what the Lord wants. So like, why shouldn't He protect them? You see what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like there's one more scripture I wanted to bring out, but um, let me see. No, that's it. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that out real quick, you know. And with that, I want to say Shalom. Lord willing, this was pleasing unto the Lord.